it's Scola, and welcome to Motivation Monday. So this week's Motivation Monday is actually sponsored by Opinion Outpost. It's basically a website where you can go and take surveys and get paid to do so. I used to be signed up to one of these when I was a little bit younger, and it really helped me just to make some extra money here and there. Whenever I had spare time, I just take a survey. I'll leave a link to it down below so you can go check it out, but hopefully it should help one of you guys out if you're looking to make some extra money. So this week's Motivation Monday is going to be about stretch marks. I have made so many videos about stretch marks and my journey with them and everything like that, but a lot of you guys don't seem to know because I still get a lot of questions about them. So I'll leave the playlist down below with all my videos on stretch marks. A lot of them are quite old, which is probably why a lot of you haven't seen them. They're from like 2010. They basically talk about all the products I use, how I've helped them fade, and I show some of my stretch marks and stuff like that. But what I noticed about a lot of those videos is the main aim of the video was to show you guys how to get rid of your stretch marks, but I never made a video on how to embrace your stretch marks, and I had to kick myself for that because I'm trying to spread a positive message. It's time to do that right now. So my story with stretch marks is basically I got stretch marks from puberty and gaining a lot of weight because it kind of happened at the same time. But you can get stretch marks for so many reasons. You can get stretch marks if you lose weight too fast. You can get stretch marks if you're a bodybuilder, so essentially just gaining mass a lot. You can get stretch marks if you're pregnant, and so on. There are so many reasons for getting stretch marks. Now, stretch marks are something that I really struggled with as I grew up. I felt very self-conscious about them and I just hated them so much. What happened to me was basically I was obviously very big, and then as I started losing weight I started noticing my stretch marks got worse and worse, and I hated it because I was like, why can't I just be happy with my body? Why can't my body just be perfect already? Like, I've lost the weight now and now I have to deal with these stretch marks and I still have to hide my body because I'm so ashamed of these stretch marks. Why is this happening to me? So just to explain it with this balloon, so I'm gonna blow up the balloon. Wait, no. Okay. So I don't know if you can see that, but there is a blue faint line there. So this is obese Scola. This is Scola as she started to lose weight. Okay, let's bring this closer. Okay, so can you see what that line looks like? That is an example of what happened with my stretch marks. So basically, as I lost weight, my stretch marks got a lot darker and harsher and they looked larger on my body. So yeah, that's what basically happened, and it sucked. And that's when I started using a lot of products on my stretch marks to kind of get rid of them. I did actually manage to make my stretch marks fade, and a lot of the darker ones aren't as dark as they were anymore. But I tend to have weird stretch marks anyway. A lot of my stretch marks are lighter than my skin, so they're like scars, you know, like a silvery scar rather than the darker ones. But there is a story that always sticks with me since I was very young. I will never forget this. I was in the changing room and it was like a PE lesson. Obviously I wasn't just in the changing room for nothing. I was getting changed, and you know, all the girls get changed after PE together and everything like that, and there was a girl getting changed and she is kind of like the stereotypically nerdy one, and she had very dark stretch marks on her belly and on her hips. They're like the dark purple kind of stretch marks, and I noticed some girls pointing at her and laughing. I instantly felt so insecure because I knew I had very similar stretch marks, and then my friend noticed it as well, and she started pointing at the girl like, oh my gosh, Scola, look at that girl, look at her stretch marks, what the hell is that? And then I just turned around to her and I was like, it's normal, those are stretch marks, I have them too, blah blah blah. And then it kind of shut my friend up. But in that moment with the other girls, I felt really insecure because I was like, wow, is that what people are gonna be like when it comes to my stretch marks? So yeah, I had that assumption that everybody that came across stretch marks would be the same way. But actually what I noticed as time went on, once I had lost the weight and everything like that, I have very visible stretch marks on my arms. You can't really see them right now because it's been winter, so I'm a lot paler than I usually would be, but people always point them out. People always go, what is that? I don't know why people have the audacity to ask me questions about stuff on my body, but whatever. Because they just look so strange. They don't exactly look like normal stretch marks that you'd see every day, but people are like, what is that? And I was like, oh, these are stretch marks, you know, I used to be a lot bigger. And I realized that all scars have a story, and it's actually a really lovely starting point to tell my story to somebody that otherwise wouldn't have known that about me. And another reason why I've come to love my stretch marks is because they are proof of what I done did. Because when I think about it, if I met a stranger and I told them, yeah, I used to be, you know, obese, I used to be very overweight, they wouldn't believe me. But if they see stretch marks on my body, like bam, 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 then they're gonna be like, alright, yeah, you can't have that many stretch marks from nothing. So yeah, it reminds me of where I used to be, and now I wear them a lot more proudly than I used to. Even if you're still big right now and you have stretch marks and you're very insecure about them, like, don't be. The majority of people actually have stretch marks, so no one's gonna judge you for having stretch marks. The more of us that show our stretch marks, the more acceptable it will become in society. I know Jordan Dunn has stretch marks from her baby, and you can often see them like on Instagram. If she takes a picture of her tummy, you can see them right there, and I saw that and I was like, a model has stretch marks? OMG. It's nice, it's cool things like that. Like Jordan Dunn could have very easily taken a picture to hide her stretch marks, but she shows them to say, hey, I'm a normal person and I want to do the same thing. I'm going to show you my stretch marks now, and hopefully you can see them because they are quite light, but they are still okay. So let's start off with the stretch marks on my hips. I don't know if you guys can see those. It's a bit awkward lighting, but yeah, you can see I have stretch marks on my hips. These used to be the most prominent ones, so these are the ones where I used a lot of product on them and it helped to get rid of them, but these are the darkest and the harshest, and they've faded quite a bit. So yeah, you can see the stretch marks there. This is just an awkward one, but I have stretch marks on my ladies right here. Yeah, so these are the ones people tend to notice a lot. These are the ones on my arms. As I said, they're a lot more visible in the summer when I've got a bit of the tan, you know. Okay, so yeah, you can see these ones are really quite visible as well. So they're just there. There are my stretch marks. My sports bra is hiding them, but I have stretch marks across my back that looks like somebody's just like scratched me, but it's proving very difficult to get those in the shot, so I'm very sorry. I have stretch marks on my upper thigh. I don't know if you guys can see those. They're on both legs. So I don't know if you can see, but I have some. But yeah, I have them all over my body, but I guess I'm very lucky in the way that a lot of them are lighter than my skin. It only gets very visible during the summer. Once I get a tan, then you can imagine that they do get a lot more visible. But regardless of whether they're very visible or not, the fact that they're there used to really bother me and really make me feel very insecure. But I really learned to accept them and I don't care anymore. And I realized I didn't care when I just started wearing tank tops, and I didn't care if you could see the ones there and there, because I was like, well, you might be able to make fun of my stretch marks, but you can't make fun of all of this. Look at this. Look at the, oh, we got some shoulder definition. Oh, can't hide this from the world, look. But definitely I know a lot of you guys say that you don't feel very confident with your stretch marks. You feel like nobody will ever love you with your stretch marks and stuff like that, which I think is horrible. I took the time out to do some research. Okay, I just asked one guy, and I asked him and I said, you know, what do you think about stretch marks? And they're like, I don't care. If you have stretch marks on your boobs, then I'm like, I don't care. I just want the boobs. That is it. You have stretch marks on your butt. I don't care about the stretch marks on your butt. I just want the butt. And that is what I've learned about the male mind. Also, I'll be in Germany this week. A proper announcement video will be coming out, but I'm going to be in Germany and I'll be having a meetup in Frankfurt on Thursday the 9th, so this Thursday at 1 p.m. at this place, I can't pronounce it, I'm so sorry, near the Starbucks. So yeah, that's where that meetup is going to be. I'd love to see so many of you guys there. I might also be coming to Cologne. I will probably be coming to Cologne on Saturday. I'm just waiting on finding out more details about that. Anyone can come, you can bring your friends, and depending on how many people come, we can do something cool, like go and get something to eat, or we can just hang out and talk. Like, it'll just be real chill, don't be scared, come along. We're all gonna have a good time. So yeah, comment below if you think you can come to the Frankfurt meetup and you think you'd be able to come to the Cologne meetup if it's gonna be on Saturday as well. Anyway guys, stay healthy, stay luscious, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. I was obese for most of my life. I lost weight and suddenly boys were interested in me. But then on the other hand, I want to tell you guys that it doesn't matter the way you look, because you will find somebody that likes you for you, and they will like the way you look, they will like the way you are, and you don't have to be a certain way to find the right person. So the conclusion I've